I'm working on it. I'm getting over there. Yep, there we are. Get my think. All right, let's see. Are you here? Is anybody here? When I mute myself, then you can't hear me. So let me just turn that off. There we go. All right, good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm on Zoom. Yay, and it's working still. That's a bonus. Good morning. Is that Miss Alita, or is that Lisa? Good morning. How's your mama? I saw that she had to go to the hospital or something. So what's mama doing today? Good morning, good morning. Just giving a minute or two to let people arrive. Oh, we have a huge, it's a huge topic. Somebody actually requested it about healing from narcissistic relationships. Oh, good. Good. That's good to know. That's good to hear. I was praying for her too. So, my name is Marty Forrest. I am an empath, blue ray. Good morning, Alita. I'm a light worker. There are many hats that I wear in this lifetime: coach, mentor. And somebody requested that I talk about healing from narcissistic relationships. And it's we could talk for hours and hours and hours. And I don't want to overwhelm you with all that because it's a lot. I have no notes. I just simply trust that Spirit's going to guide me on this one. As always, I don't make very many notes ever. Maybe bullet points once in a while. So, yes. Oh, I have a group also, Empathic Superpower. I do this also in my group. It's a little shorter. I read cards. I do various things about being empathic and really accessing and owning your gift and superpower as an empath. So if you're interested in joining me there, go there. And let's see, let us begin with a deep breath. Healing from narcissistic relationships. I really got to go back in myself to feel into that and where to begin with that. If you're still in one, it's very challenging. They're very challenging. So let's just start with that. Let's start with, how do we get there? How do we even get into these narcissistic relationships? Well, we're light and they're not. And so we attract each other. And often we want to hear the words. And they say all the right words. And they make us feel so yummy and so good. And they're so charismatic and so charming. All those great things that we think we need or want. So when I grew up, I didn't have those words. And I listened to the words. I didn't watch their feet. Right? Their words and their actions, their words and their feet have to match. They didn't. And I heard the words and I wanted to hear the words. So I listened to the words. And then you have this thing called trauma bonding. It hurts me more than it hurts you while you're getting spanked, or while they're beating the shit out of you, or while they're telling you all these terrible things about yourself. And then they love bomb you. So this equation that we have is pain and physical pain and emotional pain all equals love in some weird, fucked up, twisted way. And so we end up in those relationships. Now, in the bigger picture of things, there's always a reason. And oftentimes it's so that we can remember who we are and access the strength within us. Because in those relationships, they whittle us down, wear us down over time until we just feel like, less than the dirt on my shoes. Now, once we get out of those, that's how we get in them. And once we get out, so I don't know I know some of you are not in them, and some of you might still be in them. And it takes an act of courage. and probably help. It often takes help to get out. And remembering how worthy we are just because we're here on this planet, our mind will tell us something else. Our mind will always tell us something. Because the mind, by design, is to keep us safe. But the only thing the mind has to go on is our history. And it will do whatever it takes. Physically, it will kill us to keep us safe. Heavy stuff, right? It's a heavy topic. Now, when we're out of those relationships, or maybe we have friendships, they're not always romantic relationships. Sometimes they're friendships. And there just comes a point where you get to decide if it's worth your time and energy and effort to save or rescue this person. I've had some of those too. I had some of those friendships. It's just not worth it. But I had to reach the point where I knew that in my heart and soul that it was no longer worth it. And I was spinning my wheels and I was wasting my time. I wasn't wasting my time. I was spending a lot of time. And that's not where I wanted to live and put my focus anymore. So if you have someone in your life that can help you leave, call domestic violence, call someone that can help you. Yes, thank you for all of those, right? There's a lot of things here. And typically speaking, the narcissist doesn't change. Because that means they would have to look at themselves. They're very delicate. They were actually really very delicate. It is a mental illness. And we, being empathic and compassionate and loving, I can help them. I can help them get better. I have so much compassion because I know how much they were hurt. Well, two people can be in the same house. One's empath and one's narc. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it except for a choice that we made at a soul level of what we came here to do in this lifetime. Now, let's go into the healing from those relationships. Out of it. Let's say we're all out of it. Maybe we're getting out of it. Maybe we have friendships. I had a friend that I didn't see her all that often. And when she moved away, I was like, oh, thank God. I don't have to see her. Well, then I justified in my mind, oh, I haven't been around her. I can do this. And I went and helped her move. Pack up. I didn't help her move back, but I helped her pack up. And she came back to where we were living in California, and it was worse. And that's how I finally had exhausted all of my ways of trying to do it my way. So we already know in our heart, we know intuitively, and our mind will keep trying to justify it and make it okay. It's so insidious. Our mind is so insidious. When we're out of those relationships, now we've gotten out, or we're extrapolating from them now, maybe you're getting out of them. How do we heal? How do we move forward and not attract the same kind of people? How do we do that? It's an inside job. It's always all this stuff that we do is inside. It's all internal. While I might look for someone to help guide me, like a mentor coach that's been through it, has the skills to help you, assist you on your journey, because we just don't know. I didn't know what to do different. I had to get help if I wanted to do something different. Because I only knew what I knew, and I only knew what my mind would make up and tell me. It doesn't mean you have to go pay someone, but it means to have someone that can help you see things in a different way, see you as you actually are and not as the mind tells you you are. How many of y'all do that mental masturbation? Someone laughed about that the other day when I said it, but we do that. We get in our head about it and oh, well, maybe this time will be different. Oh, maybe I can help them. Maybe I can, what if? And for me, it took exhausting all those avenues of trying to do it my way and telling them none of this is working. And then they say the right things, right? Here's the cycle. They say the right things. And then when everything feels good and safe again for them, they go right back to what they always do. That's the cycle of abuse and that trauma bonding. And then we do it to ourselves. I wrote post one time about we gaslight ourselves all the time. You see what gaslighting is, right? You know what it is. Oh no, you didn't really do that. You never said that. Oh, you're just making that up. I don't really feel that way. You all know what gaslighting is. If you don't, look it up. This is what our mind does to us. So when we come to the other side, we can actually laugh about it and go, oh my God, there my mind goes again. Today I can do that. And I still get triggered. There are still things that trigger me. Not nearly as often, of course, but there's still things that will show up. The car company, I took my car in for some repairs. They've done none of the repairs and send me this thing that says, oh, the check engine light comes on. They want to change the catalytic converter, $5,500. No. But I instantly get into this fear, right? It triggers that fear. Oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to do that? How am I going to... So I've been out for a walk this morning. I came back in. I continued to do my breathing to move that energy. This is key for you. This is key for all of us. How I breathe. Inhale through the nose, a deep, deep belly breath. Exhale out the mouth until that energy moves. For anything you're going through, any emotion, any trigger, any fear, breathe until it shifts. And then I came in here. Before we came on, I smudged to clear that energy. I'm here to deliver with you, for you. And I don't want to bring my stuff into it, but I want to share with you that I was triggered. It happens. Through it a lot faster. I don't have to sit in it. I was already thinking about getting a new car. So I'm going to talk to them about that. I'm not going to pay $5,500 and some change. I'm like, no. If I'm already thinking of a new car, this is the impetus now for me to do that. Now, that's just talking about being triggered. So when we're moving out of these relationships, or because we have to listen to ourselves, right? Because we do it to ourselves. We gaslight ourselves all the time. How many times do you listen to your mind? You're on one track and something triggers or something pokes in there and you're on a dime moving in another direction. Change our mind constantly, instantly. That's what we'll do when they're gaslighting us. Now, I say that to make it light for yourself. Become the observer. Take a breath. I know it feels heavy, and if you're in it or you're working the way out of it, it doesn't feel like that. It feels heavy, right? It feels like shit. I feel like I can't get out of it. I feel like it'll never change. And none of that is true. I always thought, oh, it'll happen for them, but it won't happen for me. And I'm married for the third time, and this is to a man that we walk this path together. And it's beautiful and it's amazing. But my story was always, oh, it'll happen for you. Other people can have the best things in life, but it won't happen for me. And that's not true. Never been the truth. Healing. Surrounding yourself with people who are on a path that you want to be on, or you're heading toward, or you're already on. Listening to people who have something that you want in terms of how they show up in the world, how they live in the world, how they share their love and their light in the world. Sometimes it's from a book. Sometimes it's from showing up here and listening to someone like me talk about it, encouraging you, giving you tips and tools and hope that it can be different. It can be different. It can be different. We are the ones that get to do that. We are the catalyst. I am the common denominator in my whole entire life. You are the common denominator in your life. So if your life is not going the way that you would like it to go, I'm choosing my words carefully, then it's up to you. It's up to me to do something different. If I want different results, do something different. You know how long I lived in insanity doing the same thing over and over, thinking it's going to fucking be different this time? And it never was. I've been sober a long time. I did it in my addiction. I did it in my relationships. I've done it in my jobs. Oh, it's not that bad, right? Each time something happens, oh, if this happens, I'm going to leave. Oh, if this happens, I'm going to quit drinking. Oh, if this happens, I'm going to, and then I'm under a bridge and it's not that bad. To see the cycle of our mind and what it does to us. And it's by design, it's by our free will. And sometimes it's helped me a lot to understand how I chose to be. Oh, good. I heard about it. I didn't get a time. You're welcome, Brad. I'm so glad you're here. Do you have something specific you are wanting to know about? So Lisa, I would love to see an event. You invited me or you asked if I was coming and I'm like, I don't even know when it is. You said tonight. I'm like, So I missed it. I'll have to go find it and watch it. That's exciting. I'm glad you did it finally. We know, just like we know and we read the energy, we know the stumbling over my words. So let me say something different. The distinction is I can read the energy all day long and I know things. And I know things about you and I know things about other people because I can read the energy field. And I can read the energy field of the narcissist too. When it comes to my own self-esteem, because I have so much Saturday nights all in June, 8 p.m. I can talk Central Standard Time. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Saturday nights, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Making a note of that. I think I'm around this weekend. We're so sensitive as empaths. Thank you we're so sensitive as empaths. And we have so much love and so much compassion for others. And we take all that stuff on like it's our own. Yet we have no esteem for ourselves because we just feel the weight of the world. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna come back. Right. So we feel the weight of the world. Yet somewhere inside of us, it's our responsibility to help the world or to save them or to rescue them from themselves. If I just love them enough, they'll be different or they'll change or they'll want to be with me. I just do fill in your blank enough. They'll want it or they'll want to be different or they'll want to show up for me. Look at the pattern, look at the history. Highly sensitive perception empath. Oh, thank you. Highly sensitive perception empath. HSP is a highly sensitive person. Is technically what that stands for, but I like what you have there. HSPE. All right. Well, I want to know how it is someone can be so toxic and narcissistic, yet have all the blessings while the abused is left destroyed and emotionally. While the abused is left destroyed emotionally. Because they don't care. That's the bottom line. They don't care. They don't care who they abuse. They don't care even how they get it. And they have not a lot of attachment to it. They know how to vibe at money level. And they know how to charm the pants off people to get paid. Whatever their job is. So while we are taking on all that energy, transmuting, trying to fix them, getting sick. They are selfish and not aware. Yes. Yes, John, they are. Right? We make ourselves sick, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Because when we don't know how to take care of ourselves, we take it all on like it's ours. And we don't just distinguish between, is it mine? Or have I taken on all of their stuff? and if we're living in a toxic situation or working, in an environment that is toxic, it's very difficult to maintain and hold our own light because we're enmeshed and immersed in that. We can do it, but it just chips away at us. How can they be so caring with others but treat you like crap when you've done nothing wrong? Because they're stealing from you. They're charming the world. They wear the facade. They don't want the world to see them as who they are. But they're stealing our energy and our light. Building themselves. So the world gets the best of them and we get the crap. And then when we're about to leave, oh my gosh, one of my long time friend, I've known her since I was 21, so a long time. And randomly she'll reach out. I need some support. I'm going to divorce him, blah, blah. He's been so abusive and so this and so that. And I said, okay, however I can help you. She's not local, but however I can help you. I'll pray for you, whatever you need. Short of going there, I'm not going to go there and do that kind of stuff, but I'm here to support you. He comes home with flowers and love bombing and oh, it's all beautiful and amazing and he's so wonderful. And she posts this crap on Facebook and I'm like, oh, just stop it. But she can't see her own validity or value to leave because she wants to hear the words. A lot of alcoholism in the family. So it's because we're not that, we don't understand that. Somebody asked me, could we be narcissistic? No, but we'll develop traits in order to survive that will have us question ourselves and wonder if we're the narcissist. Because we do whatever it takes to survive until we can get out. It's the journey of learning how to bring our energy back in, know what's them and know what's me, and then building my own esteem, healing my own self. Oh, well, being the man, it's not an easy one to tell because it's usually the opposite, right? It's a hard one. My abuse ended 6 years ago and I've just now started telling my story. So thank you for telling your story because people need to know. People need to know and you will help them. They'll know there's hope. Oh, I can feel you. Oh. Take a deep breath, Brad. Let that move. Energy's moving. Oh. It's important. It's part of the healing that we tell our story. Not for sympathy, not for pity. It's not for that kind of stuff. It's so that other people have hope. It's so other people know that they have a choice. And you, where you are on your journey, are ahead of other people. So you're going to be able to help other people in that way. I'm long ahead in my journey in this. And when we get clear about who we are in our own self and our own self-esteem, we recognize it a mile away. Then we shine so brightly, they just kind of steer clear. Because there's nothing left to come back or to draw them in. When we feel wounded or damaged or like we're not good enough, we attract them like the moth to the flame. So it's kind of light and dark. We just attract them. And it's a natural thing. It's not natural. It's really not natural, but it's a thing that happens. Our esteem matches because they don't have esteem and we don't have esteem, but we're light and they're not. And we attract each other. different agendas. The narcissist never apologizes. No. And if they ever do, if they ever have those words come out of their mouth in their way, it would be there's always an agenda. No, but I was told by them it was disrespectful to tell the truth about what they did. Them. Of course they would say that. We're a bloody fish in a shark-infested water. There you go. Good analogy. And I mean no disrespect when I say that, Brad, but they are going to tell you that because, and you don't have to use names. I know you're going to have family that knows, or people, your friends that know, but it's your story. It's your story, and nobody can tell you how you can tell it or not tell it. It's you. Own it. Tell it from your perspective. I was abused. I was mistreated. I allowed myself to live in this situation with someone like this. There's no blame going on because we do it. It's a choice. It's always a choice. We're not a victim of this. You might think so. We're not. Nobody's a victim. We choose it for our higher soul purpose here on this planet. So when we can look at, sometimes this helped me to heal a lot when I could see the why I would choose these kind of relationships, why I would choose these kind of parents. For me, it's for me. I chose so that I could remember who I came here to be and what I came here to do. And if you tell it, people don't believe you because they are so different around others. Oh, absolutely true. That's the worst part. I chose to stay longer knowing what it was. It is, anybody out there, you've stayed longer knowing? Of course, I did it too. I said one in one of my relationships, the second marriage, I was at a seminar and somebody said, never fall in love with someone's potential. Never fall in love with somebody's potential. I swear to God, it was a 2x4 against my head, knocked my head off. Like that was the inside. I'm like, oh my God. And I looked at my friend and she's like, oh. I just hung my head because I knew that's what I had done. What are you going to do? Get a divorce? When? I don't know. And it was 2 years later. It was December when I heard that, and it was 2 years later that I told my mom. And it was ugly. He became someone I'd never even, I had glimpses of, but I'd never seen that whole person come out. And I had to leave my house until he left. Yeah. So it's, people don't believe. People don't believe if they have been in it, or even if they haven't been in it, because of how they show up. Absolutely true. And then you get with people who know, and they believe you, and it only takes one for you to tell your story and they believe you. And then gives me permission now to tell it to more people. And it doesn't have to be people that know that person. We don't have to go. The thing about telling our story is know your audience and I'm not going to go blab it to everyone in the world. I tried that. People don't care. They don't want to hear. Not really. Not a lot of them. Some do. I think the real problem is now they are teaching others in a spiritual context that yes, you're nailing it there, Brad. When they don't get what they want, you see a version of them you never thought existed. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. The real problem, yes. The spiritual timeline, listen to this. I have a mentor who tells me this. The spiritual timeline has been hijacked by people like that are teaching others in a spiritual context. Listen to yourself. You must listen to yourself and know. Yes, Alita says it is your testimony, Brad. Something sounds so great. Hi, Ann. Something sounds so great, but really feel it. Not from here. Feel it. Feel what people are saying, and you're going to know. You're going to know if they're real deal or not. Remember listening to the words. We like to hear the words rather than listening to the words. Feel their energy. You're going to know if they're on a hijacked timeline, and you're going to just quit, get away. Facebook, it's everywhere. Yes, sometimes we go with to find some validation. Indeed, heal victim feelings. Thank you for this topic. I'm listening. Awesome. Good to see you, Anne. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Okay. Healing. One of the ways to do listening for how to think. Begin building that trust in yourself. I'm an Uber driver, so reading energy is a job description. It is. It is. So yeah, you just know we don't have to call it out. We don't have to do anything. We just pull our energy back into ourselves, bring it into yourself, and you have nothing to offer someone who's in that hijacked space or narcissistic space. Yeah. Watching for the evidence. When you know something, just watch for the evidence, for the truth of it. Because how many things do we know? We know all the time. We're never wrong. We may not see it right away. But if you get a feeling about someone, I would say to myself, I'm just going to park this over here. Rather, because I was quick to dismiss it. Oh, no, they're not like that. They're not really that way. Mm-hmm. So I would okay, I'm going to just park it over here, and then I'm going to just let it be. I don't have to give it any meaning. I don't have to do anything with it. Just let it be until the evidence reveals itself. If I am meant to know, I will see it. But isn't that the pain they are showing if they show this? When they don't get what they want, you see a version of, okay, you're answering a question or a comment. Okay. If they show the version of themselves, like the real version of themselves, because they didn't get what they wanted, there's several ways. So if you're in a situation, if you're living with someone, family member, friend, roommate, romantic partner, you're living with someone and they're showing you their true colors because they didn't get what they want, you step back, leave the room, leave the house, have a place to go. You don't have a place to go? Sometimes I'll just look and go, when they're in that space, I'll just let them do their thing. There's no place for me to defend. There's no place for me to try to correct it. There's no place for me to try to make them see it differently or to soothe it. Because that's what they're hoping, right? Is that we're going to conform and we're going to give them what they want by being how they really are. Not our job. And if we're in this situation, it is challenging. So hold on, Brad. I'm going to read that in a second. So when you're in that situation, you can just do this. I don't know if you can see me. I have my arms over my solar plexus. So not so. Okay. That's one way. You can imagine just your energy coming back in. You can do a bright light. You can imagine a mirror. Imagine you're holding a mirror up to them. It gives them their energy back and keeps it off of you. And sometimes they see themselves. To not engage. It's like trying to deal with someone who's drunk. They can't hear you. You're dealing with their insanity. There's no relationship to have with someone's insanity. Does that make sense? When someone's insane, they're mental, narcissistic, the borderline personality disorder. It's one of those things. It falls on a spectrum of mental illness to varying degrees. There's no reaching them. There's no helping them. They don't want it. They only want what they want, how they want it. And so the best thing we can do is disengage. Otherwise, we engage energetically and we engage emotionally and we engage with our words. And then we're back in it, right with them again. Yeah. I've never heard that term, hijack timeline. I'm very much about destroying ego and integration of the shadow. So I want to expose it. I called these people shadows in the light. I like that. Shadow in the light. That's good. Yeah, if you just look it up, you'll probably find it on Google or DuckDuckGo, whichever one you use. All about destroying the ego will not be destroyed completely. Part of our nature, part of our brain. We make friends and we learn to listen from here rather than allowing our head to run the show. It's something that most humans didn't learn that. Most. I don't know. It's probably extreme, but yes. So, was that helpful, Anne? I know you were asking Nicole, but I went ahead and addressed it because I know it's going to help us when we're in those situations. Sometimes when they're just doing their thing, doing whatever they do, making us wrong or bad, makes perfect sense. I took care of adults with cognitive disabilities and I deal with drugs on a regular basis. Yeah. On the regular. Yeah. So you understand. See, there's no there. So when someone is making me bad and wrong or someone's screaming at me, I used to just go, like I would check out. I would do this, like my eyes would go blank. I was shocked many years ago because I was like, I have nothing. I can't even say anything. I was picking, oh my God, I flopped on this. I was picking up my husband at the airport one day and he was right there to get in the car. And the police was like, you need to move your car. He's screaming, I need to move my car. Well, I just let him put my stuff in there. Put his stuff in the car. I'm like, I'm not going to just drive forward and leave him standing there with his stuff. He's right at the car. Man, this policeman got out of his car screaming at me. And I shut down. It's the way I've always protected myself. I just shut down and stared at him. And he finally was like, get the hell out of here. It's just, my husband's like, what just happened? I said, I have no idea. But I tripped his trigger in a hard way. And there was not one thing I could do. I knew if I engaged, I might end up in jail. So, well, that's very extreme. I've had a couple of police people do that. And it's just like, our light disturbs them so much that that's all that they can do. Go off, come unhinged. Now, when our people that I don't even know these people, so that like I just leave and just clear all that. Whew, let me just clear the energy, cut all those cords, send it all back, right? Give it all back to them. When it's someone that I'm with or I'm living with or a friend that's doing that, agree. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You know what? You might be right. I might be the asshole. I wouldn't always add that, but you might be right. But it's my thing. Right? If they're making you wrong about something that you want or need or asking for, yeah. But this is my thing and it's what I'm asking. You might be right. I'll give that some consideration. Instantly neutralizes the conversation. Now they might not be neutralized, but it neutralizes the conversation because there's really nowhere to go when you're saying, yeah, you might be right. Well, in my mind, I'm like, you're full of shit. It just, I know this. Okay, take distance. I'm doing it this way. Yes, to see themselves. Okay, instantly the one I met recently is very insecure. Yes, sorry. Oh, run. Just run. Very insecure, run. Yes, it will always happen again. She said, I read something recently that even if you think you got through to the narcissist, it'll happen again. An outburst. 100%, 1000%. They're very fragile. Narcissistic people are very, like, mentally ill people are very, very fragile. And I never know, you never know what's going to set them off. What I did today was fine, but tomorrow they might go off the hook again. There's no rhyme or reason. It's not consistent. It's very confusing, and that's how they get us. That's how they get us. You're like, well, this was fine yesterday, and now you're screaming about it. I grew up in a house like that. Yeah. I'd like to challenge the running at insecurities, though. You can challenge it. You get to decide, right? You get to decide if you want to be in that kind of relationship with someone who's insecure. Because when someone's insecure, and that doesn't mean that you should stay or go. I'm telling you run, but he's saying I'll challenge that. Okay, great. Let's challenge it. You can stay, but all that you do will never be enough for them because they need you to make them feel secure. And that's the space I come from. Because when I was insecure, nobody could give me enough. I was empty. Hey, Lillian, I was empty. So nobody could give me enough to fill me up. I was always insecure. They could not make me feel secure. So when I meet someone that's insecure, I back up. When my husband gets insecure, I love you, honey. I know you're going to figure it out or whatever it is. But I don't get engaged with that. I can't do it for him. I can't. Not possible. Not possible for somebody to do it for me. It's an inside job only. Does that mean that we can't help them? No. Of course we can help them. But know where your boundaries are and know what you're willing to give. Because you can't fix that. You can't help that unless they're willing to do it for themselves. Period. I've worked with a lot of people in recovery. If they don't want to help themselves, there's nothing I can do. It's me wanting it more for them than they want it for themselves. And if they don't want it, then I'm just speaking on deaf ears. I've learned that the hard way. And we all have our moments. We all have our moments of insecurity. We're all walking through it. Nothing. Been cheated on in every adult relationship I've been in. I'm 43. The last one really messed me up bad. So I'm very insecure, not jealous, but insecure. Yes. I hear you. Like, absolutely, that would feel, how would you not feel insecure? So here's my invitation, Brad, is to take a look at what is it up in me. I'm creating this, right? I'm the creator of my life. It's all happening for me. So if I look at how it's happening for me, it is a trauma response, of course. Absolutely a trauma response. How do you clear the trauma then? And how do you pick differently? Because it's something in me that's attracting someone that does that to validate I'm not worthy. Or maybe there's a bigger picture. What's your purpose here on this planet at this time? What's the gift for you in those? To learn how to trust yourself, to pick people who aren't doing that, or they leave before they cheat on you instead of cheating. I can say I love you as a person in my life right now. I have a lot of love for you. I feel that. I've had those that cheated on me and those I cheated on. On the rare occasion they do, it's superficial. Oh, yeah, it's superficial. Yeah, they apologize, never apologizing. Yes. So hold on a second. Because it's that insecurity that draws them to you. That's what it felt like. So it's that. So what's your sole purpose to be here? If you look at, for all of us, how is this happening for me? How is it in my favor? What am I learning? What's the gift of this? Growing up with a narcissistic mom and a dad that came from alcoholism, but they never drank. So all the isms. I'm here to be love in the world and be a light in the world. That's the big picture for me. And also I had all those things that weren't that. To remember who I am and to become that. So if we're picking people that cheat on us, how am I cheating myself? Where's the disrespect for the self? What is it that you're getting in that kind of relationship? What are you getting from it? Not from them cheating, but in just generally in the relationship. Sometimes I don't want to look at that stuff. But it's always about me. Remember in the beginning, I said, I'm the common denominator in my life. You are the common denominator. I felt that. I'm here to be a light in this world. Yes. And when we're here to be light in the world, most of us are that are here, that are highly sensitive and empathic. We're here to be light in the world. We're here to help the world shift and evolve and ascend in vibration. That doesn't mean that we go do anything per se. It means we show up in the world as light. And they're drawn to your light. Well, it's heightened my intuition awareness. Yes, I repeated cycles by not walking at the first sign. Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. The last one was believed to be a twin flame or false flame. Oh, yeah. Good for you. Walk away at the first sign. Your intuition is never wrong, ever. I promise you. You may not see it right away. But your intuition is never, 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 never wrong, ever. It's not. Now, it's learning to distinguish between the trauma response, reaction, it's a reaction. If it's a chemistry thing, okay, they're so this and they're so that. Pull in the reins for yourself and really step back and just observe. We all deserve, I'm going to say this strictly to Brad, but it's for all of us. You deserve to have the best. The ayahuasca told me that I literally spoke to my higher self. Yes. I know a lot of people that have done that. I've met several people that have done that. Yeah. So listen, and if you don't believe it, ask for a sign. There's a way you can build your trusting your intuition, building the trust in yourself and your intuition, and show me a clear sign. Clear sign. 2x4 in my head, I would say. I don't ask for that so much today. Show me a clear sign. Let me see the truth. Let me see through spirit's eyes. And then, okay, let me have the courage to say, this isn't for me. That's it. This isn't for me. You don't owe anybody an explanation. This isn't feeling quite right for me. So I'm going to say thank you and go about my way. Whatever words you would use, right? But if it's not feeling right to you, it's not going to be right for them. Because you are seeking someone of that higher vibration. But we go to what's familiar and comfortable. It's a little scary. I don't know if I can handle someone with the high vibration. You can, right? But we want to stay where it's comfortable sometimes. So you're in a place of straddling, leaving that behind, and really having that trust and respect. How's that? How's that landing for you? Trust your intuition. Yeah, always trust intuition. We read the energy. Why do we not trust what we read? We read it about other people, and then we go, oh, but I can help them. I can fix them. I can transmute the energy, and I can help them grow, and I can, these are everything. Whatever words that you choose to say to yourself, often very unconscious. So if you know that you have those trauma reactions and trauma bonding, then learn what it looks like to not have that, because it's often going to be, this is kind of boring. Really, I'm really attracted to them, but is it really the real thing? You got to know that difference. Am I reacting from a trauma space? Or this mystery and it's all exciting? It's often the trauma. Versus, there's this bright light in the world, and I really like what I see, and I really like how I feel, and holy crap, maybe I don't deserve this, and I'm nope, can't do that. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me come back up here. Hold on. I'm actually very glad I caught this. It's been words I already knew, but needed to hear it from someone else. Good. I'm glad that you asked for the topic. I was like, it's sometimes it gets so heavy. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. But I know it's to help people because I've been through it. Yeah. Lynn, very well. Always so good here. Bless you. Oh, thanks, Alita. I so appreciate you coming. Wish I had this mindset 20 years ago. Right. I spent decades trying to make everyone else's life better, easier. How many of us did that? I can do it for you, but I can't do it for myself. Let me fix you because I can't fix me. I wore that one for a long time. Well, you wouldn't be here today, right here, if you'd had that mindset 20 years ago. It's all for a purpose. It's all for us. That's helped me a lot to release my ideas and those limiting beliefs of, I wish I'd known then. I couldn't have. I couldn't have known then. So let me wrap around to the beginning where he asked about healing from narcissistic relationships. It's time. It doesn't have to take a long time, but also understanding where your trauma is and helping to clear that. The breath work helps out a lot. That deep breath in through your nose, the belly breath, exhale out your mouth, helps that energy to move. And every time that gets touched, that wound gets touched, you take that breath and you keep breathing. Breathing. It's the key. We can live without a lot of things for days. I have fasted for days and didn't die, but I can't live without breath for more than 2 or 3 minutes. So breath is the key in spirit. I started a club on fixing. Oh, you are funny. You have to analyze yourself with what is trauma responses and your intuition. Yes, I had to relearn that as well as acknowledging my thoughts and moving on with what's just brain chatter. Yes, brain chatter is brain chatter. Get curious. Get curious about what you hear your brain chattering about. Is that really true? Become the observer. And if you question if it's a trauma response, really feel into that. Where if it is a trauma, if you say response, I feel like it's a trauma reaction. We're not responding, we're reacting. Where is it in your body? I meet someone. Oh my God, I gotta know that person. All bells go off and all that. Okay, there. Stop. Feel that. Where is it in your body? Where is the trauma in your body? Right? Because that's like that trauma bonding. All that excitement and all this yummy good chemistry that probably not going to be the best. So when you see that, when you feel that, and you notice it, because it'll still show up, just step back from yourself. Take that deep breath. Where am I feeling this? Where is it living in my body? And then you breathe into that spot. Breathe into it until you feel the energy shift. It's helping that trauma clear. There's several ways. This is the way that I've been doing. It's a presence breath. So breathe really deeply below or into the area, and then I exhale and let that energy move. And you do it until you feel it change. Sometimes it's only once or twice. Sometimes it might be a minute or two. Breathing into that. You're letting it expand so that it can move. It's really powerful. There's lots of different breath techniques. All right. Any final comments or questions? I love that. I started a club on fixing. Yeah. I wore my codependency crown loud and proud for a lot of years. A lot of years. So yeah. Process. And it's learning that we are worthy and we're not here to save. Somebody said it recently. The whole world is not your family. You're not here to fix them. It clicked for me. The whole world is not my family. Well, we're all human race. They're all my family. That's how where my mind was. I didn't even know that. Well, she said that they're not all your family. Not my job to transmute the energy for everybody in the world, although it's very natural for us to do that. Transmute it in your environment because it's what we do, but we don't have to take it all on. And I don't have to intentionally, energetically, emotionally, or spiritually save, rescue, fix anybody. Let go of that what is it called? Savior complex. Let that go. I did it for a long time. So I'm speaking from my experience. So if you want to do some more together, you want to deep dive in there together, reach out to me, direct message me. We can have a quick little clarity call. We can have a one-off session, or we can look at how we can work together and move through this. I needed that. Yes. So send me a direct message. Marty Hicks-Forrest or Marty Forrest. I can't remember how it's worded in there, but I'm legally Forrest now. My maiden name is Hicks. So anyway, lovelies, have a beautiful day. I love Brad that brought a little humor to the end there. Started a club. Yep. So next week, 9 a.m. I will be here. If you have a topic, you can reach out to me with that too. If you have a topic that you want to hear about specifically, we can talk about that. Because sometimes I just come and spirit just takes over and that's how it goes. And even if there's a topic, that's how it happens. We love you. I love you too. Oh, yes. Be well. Be blessed. Join my group. I'll be there on. Thank you, Sensei. I love that. That felt good. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yes. So if you want more, I'll be live in my group Saturday sometime. I'm not sure what my morning is looking like, but empathic superpower. If you want to do some more, I'll show up there. Projecting for a topic. Oh, reach out to me and tell me more. I like that. All right, lovelies, have a beautiful week. See you Saturday or right here next week on Wednesday. Take good care. And I have to go back over to Zoom place and then I'll be gone actually. So have a great week. See you soon.